Hello, everyone. Thank you for the first, the second, and the third. Hello, hello. I'm very sleepy today. Oh, and thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated. Okay, I have to go edit the gameplay screen then. We will stay on just chatting for a little bit. Hello, Alice! Alright, I am very tired. But I have sweet tarts and I have water and it's 3 a.m. and we have a cozy game. And it's still technically fall. So thank you. The paint artist is very, very talented. Alright, I got the water. Okay, to the game we go. I have to custom that. Give me one moment to put you in. Unfortunately, the thing I was using to do this automatically broke, so I have to do it by hand. Oh, you do? I love these games. Okay, I'm so excited to play the demo. It's going to be a lot happier than our recent playthrough because of the first game, because we had to do jerk playthrough, and I don't like jerk playthrough. A jerk playthrough upsets me, and I had to go grab a pillow for jerk playthrough because I had to scream and cry. But it must be done because I must 100% the game. Oh, that's right. I mentioned it, but I have sweet tarts. How many playthroughs have you done so far? Too many. But we're doing one live. Alright. New game. Nah. I'm a pro already. Alright. Let us create me. I wonder if I can almost get the exact thing I've got going on. I'll posture check. With like my golden black and then black on top eyes by messing with the hue. Like, I feel like that's a decent approximate like attempt at doing it. Now the fun part. Oh, I love this game. I remember this one is like almost what I do with my Persona Sarah. Yeah. Yeah. But now I just have to say. Yeah. No, that's pink. Finally, the dress up segments. I've spent way too long in these. I always do. It's who I am. You can't give me something like this and expect me to spend a normal amount of time. It's not in my nature. It's quite literally impossible. Like, yes, here, Dragon. Have this adorable character creator with adorable art, with all these adorable options, and spend a normal amount of time. I won't. I will spend 5 years. These earmuffs are my favorite thing ever, and I would just like that to be known because, like, Froggy, bear. Froggy, bear. They're so adorable, and I adore them. Mm-mm. Oh, it's begun. Alright, chat. Which do we like more? Headband bow? Bear ears? Or little bow? Taking such a which one's the favorite? Oh no. The Australian woman. Dreaded Australia moment. Headbands, yippee! Thank you! Headbands! Alright, but what are we thinking? Bow, headband bow, muffs. Okay. This will help me pick this out. Okay, do I go with the bow? Do I go with the headband bow? Or do I go with the earmuffs? Earmuffs. Okay, what do we think of the rest of chat? The rest of chat, I need your opinions as well. Dear chatters. Let me choose hair. Well, I think I like the white muffs. Okay. You can't see my earrings with this, so we'll go right straight to the freckles. That would be Tiny Dragon. It does look like Tiny Dragon. We'll put them on even if they can't be seen. That's cute. Oh, That is quite a dilemma. Dragon's Dream book spoilers. But no dragon. No spoilers. picking is good. Thank you for that, hydrate. Alright. I know I have to keep my earmuffs on, and I just spent forever picking my hair. But you can't really see my earrings with this hair, and I kind of want to pick earrings in later outfits. So I might change it to make it look more like this, and then I can go put the muffs back on. There. I think that still looks super cute. Did we give her? Let's give her a little one. Here we go. That's a cute kid. Okay. I was a tall child, apparently. And I know that's gonna be like, no. And yes, I was very tall and I still am. I was very tall and I still am very tall. I'm the tallest of talls. Alright. I've created a name for myself. There's Destiny Dove, but nickname who I want everyone to call me. Use the wagon. You call me Destiny, you get banned. That. Yes, I'm going to ban you from Twitch chat for calling me Destiny. That's why I have Smile here. Smile bans anyone who calls me anyone who calls me Dragon. Insta ban. Alright, bum. Mum. I think I would pick Mother, because I think Mother is objectively a good thing to call your mom, because it is silly. There is nothing that beats the silly vibes of going Mother. Maybe a father, but I think they're more tied, actually. Nah, there's no such thing as just supporting the stream. You're here to just do your job, ban people when needed. Obviously. I'm so EP. Chat, tell me entertaining stories to keep me entertained. Oh wait, I'm the streamer. That's my job. Uh-oh. Mom. Alright. Sticker time. This one. It speaks to me. Oh no, I have to read. Nope, oh. We're not doing that. Ready to read. Drop my sweetheart. Oh, that. Uh-oh. Now there's just a spider running wild. That's not good. You should probably try and catch the spider. I'm not gonna lie, Iris. Why do you get so many spiders? Alright, let me clear my throat. It looked like fall in Golden Grove. More than any place he'd seen before, it could be in one of your old picture books to show little kids what autumn was supposed to be. There weren't any green trees or bushes. But there weren't just bare branches yet. It was almost the same as normal. All that changed were the colors. Red, orange, yellow, brown. Even the blue of the sky high above your head seemed too different than it did in summer. It wasn't as bright either, as though it had gotten tired of sparkling by this late in the year. Or like it was even farther away from you now that you were in this place. The plants and sky didn't get this way where you lived. Where you used to live. Your thoughts continued to jump around while you stood there in the big circle of street at the end of the road. It was a weird path to you. It couldn't take you ahead or to the sides or anywhere else like most streets you'd gone down. This one only came right here with those big houses. The view in front of you was something you'd only ever seen in photos before from stapled together papers that advertised the middle house being for sale. That's our house! Oh, I love the backgrounds in this game. I want to chew on them. You're gonna hear that a lot because I just kind of want to chew on the art in this game really, really badly. I think it looks very chewable, and I would like to chew on it. I just wish to chew. It shall not escape me, I shall chew. I'm going to bite my way through the entire game. Alright. It had been a picture book to you until this day. Now you knew it felt like fall here too, because it was cold outside. Chilly enough that you sometimes held your eyes closed for a few seconds longer than usual to try keeping your eyeballs from feeling like they were gonna freeze inside your head. This was a real place, the icy air surrounding you said, and you were really in it. I can say that much better. Okay. This is a real place, the icy air surrounding you said, and you were really in it. And it was where you were gonna stay. That was new. Your mom and you had lived in apartments before, and never for a long time each. Never for very long each time. That was until she'd gotten a big job in this not so big town and bought a big house. You wouldn't be going anywhere else for a long time. Now, in that moment, you couldn't imagine being there forever. But that's just the way it was. The old tan house at the very end of the long round road was now your house, standing tall with two others by its side. Those buildings were homes too, with their own people living inside, and those people in those ancient houses were gonna be your neighbors. I wonder if maybe we'll get close with any of our neighbors, huh? I wonder. Like, I do wonder. Alright. How do I feel about moving on? Honestly, I'm super excited because I love this game and I love playing it, so. You're super excited about everything happening. Nothing was gonna be boring anymore. And then we're gonna go Happy Mom because I like our mom. You'd have so much fun together. And then she immediately betrays me. Look at that chat. I'm like, yay, my mom, and then she betrays me. The immediate betrayal. Ah. Bang. I was about to bang my head against my keyboard. I'm not gonna do that, actually. I think that sounds like a bad idea. Alright. I can't read it. I'm like, yay, a playthrough where I won't be in pain. And then I remembered that I'm gonna have to read the name Destiny over and over and over again. And then everyone's gonna call me Destiny. And it's gonna hurt my soul. What must be done must be done. Destiny, come on over and take a look. Oh, that was your mom's voice. You hadn't noticed she'd gotten so far. You wasted no time catching up in order to reunite with her. Off the cul-de-sac road and cutting across lines of grass and sidewalk. You reached the picket fence your mom had called from. The gate was unlocked. Unlike the other houses, in front of yours was a tiny gray stone walkway that led up to a couple little steps, and those steps led to the door. You walked along the private path, making sure each foot landed squarely on a rock and not on one of the dirt cracks in between until you arrived at the end of the line. Yeah, I know, but that comes later. That comes like after this whole demo section, and that comes after this whole prologue section, if I remember. So we're gonna have to stomach it through the whole prologue, which is relatively long. But we can do it. We are strong. We are warrior. We can handle Destiny. Then you hopped up the tiny stairs to join your mom. And there your mom was, standing at the edge of the porch, arms folded and waiting. She must have been moving around because the shiny opal earrings she wore were twisting from side to side a bit. You knew they were real opal stones because she told you before, when she first got them. She also told you a long time ago that her normal name, not Mum, was Opal. Her clothes were the colors of a cloudy day after rain that had already come and gone. The kind of day that could be cold and bad, or really relaxing and comfy. It depended. You wondered which way she looked at it from. You didn't know. You put them together. You put the words together. You put the word and the exclamation part to get together. Thank you. Double set. No. Oh, did the bot turn off? Hang on. Let me make sure the bot didn't turn off. Hang on, because the annoying little bot does that sometimes. Alright, that's a good thing for us to catch. Alright, try it again. Let's see, does that Discord command work? No, why'd you keep turning off? Turn on, please. I request CloudBot be on. Every time I go to do a command, it turns off. Just stay on. Finally. Alright. Commands are working. Oh, did I ever show you, chat, that I added the bonk command? So now going exclamation point bonk, a bonk, and then enter a name. We'll bonk them. Just as you can hug them, you may also bonk them. Yeah, by popular demand, everyone was saying add a bonk because they wanted to bonk. And I was saying no bonk. But now you can double bonk me. And I think that's too funny to pass up. I'm gonna get brain damage now! How could you do this to me? Alright, let's keep reading. The rest of her, though, was much more bold, especially the matching purpley cranberryness of both her eyes and hair. I read that in the wrong order. It was hair and eyes. Yippee! There weren't a lot of things out in the world with that color that could feel gloomy. No, I don't think most things feel gloomy when they're that color, so. Brain? No! You can't give me brain damage and then be like, oh, L brain damage. Like, you just gave me brain damage. It's your fault. Mom smiled at you. It made you feel as soft and warm on the inside as your mom was on the outside. Aww. Oh, ads. Okay, break time. Yippee. So, anyone who made it past the ads, any fun stories to tell while we wait for all the silly ad people? Bap, 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 bap. Thank you for the stretch. Alright, stretch this way. Stretch that way. Stretch up. No bones cracking. Good. Oh. Are you guys back from the ads? They back from the ads. Welcome back from the ads. Do you have any interesting ads? Alright, well, since you're back from the ads, we're gonna get back to the game. Feel free to tell me about any interesting ads you saw. What do you think? It's a pretty place, huh? It is really pretty. It's beautiful. I agree, my dear. Her mouth stayed in the shape of a smile, but her eyes and eyebrows changed, bending in a way that made it seem like she wasn't really smiling. Or it was some other kind of smile. How many other kinds of smiles are there, Smile? Let's get the smile expert to tell us how many smiles there are. You know, being one of those smiles. So, too many? How many? You're a smile expert. I don't know that many smiles. No, I'm not the smile expert. Excuse you. I'm the dragon expert, obviously. She put a hand on one of the white painted pole things that kept the porch roof from falling down. Her fingers moved along it. Well, I'm an expert on one smile. You say there's too many smiles. I'm not an expert on all those smiles. Won't be too much longer. The real estate agent should be here to hand over the keys in a couple hours or so. Then it'll be official. We'll be the newest residents of Golden Grove. You shifted your weight from one foot to the other. This is a big deal to your mom. Her whole life is changing too. You hoped it wouldn't be a mistake. You didn't want your mom to be sad. Ah! Well, you've seen the yard and the outside. You don't have to wait here the entire time. How about you go look around the rest of the neighborhood? She bent down, placing her hands on her knees in order to speak directly to you on the same level. It's a safe town, especially in this area. You'll be able to play freely out here. I want to meet your cute neighbors. I want to meet the cute neighbors, pretty please. I perk right up because I'm excited to go meet the cute neighbors. Mom went back to her normal way of standing with her head up high and arms folded. That's the spirit. Enjoy yourself. Just don't stray into any other streets today. Yes, Mom. Thank you. I trust you. With that, you flipped around, bounded down the steps, and went back towards the sidewalk, ready to explore. Yippee! Ah, so cute. Everything in this game is just gonna be constantly dying from the cuteness because it's just so adorable. Your shoes really squished into the dirt part when you crossed from where you were down to the solid road. The smell of the grass and rain-softened ground, crisp though somehow also kind of musty, hung in the air, bringing a whole new year of school with it. You were going to be a 5th grader. It would be completely different from being a 4th grader. And not just because you'd be attending a new school. You'd be in the highest grade of the place. Oh, we're such a big kid, chat. Look at us. We're a big fancy 5th grader. Sorry for the pause. I was eating sweet tart. Maybe that was why your mom was so sure you could do this by yourself. You were growing up. It felt good knowing there was more and more out there that you'd be able to explore on your own. Then, before you took one more step, there was a faint tap against your shoulder. It was barely stronger than the wind, but it was definitely something, and it was completely out of nowhere. Okay, so a light touch. Honestly, I'm just gonna wonder what that is. It was kind of weird. You slowly glanced down to the right and left, trying to get an idea of where the poke could have come from. No one was there. The neighborhood was empty, except for you. You would have settled on it being a mystery forever if you hadn't noticed there was a thing left behind from the encounter. Sitting there in between the muddy brown blades of grass was something new. Airplane! Oh, look how cute we are! A paper airplane? It's an airplane. We found airplane. Yippee! I'm gonna keep this airplane forever. Who would throw this at a stranger, and why would they disappear after doing it? As you considered those questions, your gaze shifted back towards the right, the side of the street where the tap had come from. Blah, blah, blah. Whoever that sent this to you had to have gone that way. You crouched down to grab it, wanting to get some kind of answer of what had happened. The paper didn't feel like the same crinkly, crackly way most paper did. It was thicker somehow, almost like a piece of cloth. It was cottony. That wasn't the only part that stood out. The page was a tan color with dark brown lines, not white and blue or white and black or something regular. More questions to add to the confusion. Where would paper like that have come from? You turned the paper airplane around in your hands and squinted your eyes keenly. There were pencil markings on the underside. The paper had scribbles, or maybe even letters. That was enough of a sign to undo the shape someone had put together. You pulled up the flaps of the plane and flattened it out between your palms as best you could. It was true. The paper airplane had a message. Well, maybe. There were some words on it, but not a lot, and they were on different lines from each other. You read over each tiny part from top to bottom. Hello. Go out. Hide out. And then in the bottom corner was... our name. Destiny Dove. Well, we have a mystery on our hand. Your name. It had been addressed to you personally. There was no mistake that you were the one meant to get that plane. You scrunched up your face. A person wrote stuff on a piece of paper, turned it into a paper airplane, threw it at another person, and the message they sent was that? This is so cool. Maybe the words were a code you had to break. Yeah, we're gonna get to the bottom of this. Someone, or something, had to have sent this to you. You weren't going to stop until you found out who and why. Past the parts where the light shone through the clouds and the parts where it got darker, you began your investigation by heading in the same direction the paper had hit you from. The half circle of houses was out of sight by the time the normal sidewalk ended, and it really ended. Instead of connecting to another street with homes or stores, there was the car road behind you, and a bunch of trees and plain ground in front. Going down the road would have to bring you to the rest of the town eventually, but you're sure that would be straying too far, like Mum warned against. That was okay. You had other options. Bending in between the dark trunks and bright leaves were two lines stamped out through the grass. They went in opposite directions. It was a crossroads. And a beautiful look at the background. Look at how pretty it is. Absolutely in love with the backgrounds in this game. I'm chewing on them, biting, numbing. Just look at it. Absolutely gonna explode just from how pretty this game is. Okay. One led more towards where the neighborhood was, but back further right on the edge of where the forest started. The other went completely into the trees, a walking path for the people who lived here. You stood there at the start of this turning point in the woods, in your life, feet poised to move over the stirring thicket floor. I don't know which one we want. Okay. I haven't decided. Oh, okay. You didn't know which one you were going. How can you know which one was better? You'd never tried either. That's a lie, actually. And there were no clues on where to start now. It was a puzzle that made you pause. You thought about it as hard as you could, even shutting your eyes to focus. Then finally... Oh, what should we do, chat? Chat, help me pick. Chat, make decisions for me. Chat, take away all my agency and just say everything for me. Do we go left or do we go right? Do I spin a wheel? We have one right. Okay. Anyone else want to pitch in, or do we go right? Who do we go see? Who do we go see, Eris? Eris, as the heiress, it is your job to make this important decision for us. Which child do we go see? The left child or the right child? Pick. Decide for us, Eris. Guys, we gotta pressure Eris into picking this for us. I don't know. I don't know. It's not a valid answer. Rah. I'm trying to get it to fit the screen a little better. Hang on. Alright, that's good. No, I liked it better before. No, I moved the whole overlay over. Hang on. Just say left or right. Come on, Eris. Left or right, Eris? Left. Oh, we got one left, we got one right. Alright, I'm bringing it back to the wheel. Wheel time. Or coin flip. Coin flip. Coin flip. Alright. Heads is left. Tails is right. Flipping. Tails. Alright, we're going right. You went along the tree line to your right. And your quest continued. Oh, pretty background. The path ended up being kind of a trick. You ran out of dirt to walk after only a minute or two, and it became plain grass. I was reading, and then I looked over at chat, and are you okay? The paint didn't get in your mouth, did it? Please. If you did, I think you should make sure you're safe, because, you know, I don't think you're supposed to put paint in your mouth, not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure paint is not supposed to go in your mouth. But I could just be crazy, you know? Yeah, no, don't eat paint in the future, Eris. It's fine, it was just one. That's still paint! And it became plain grass everywhere. Luckily, you only had to keep following the curved bend of brush and tree trunks that separated the forest from the not forest to know you were going the way you had planned to go. Then, as you strolled even farther, something came into view. You almost didn't notice it at first. Stretching about as high as the trees and made out of practically the same colored wood was a tower sort of thing. The bottom of it was mostly empty space with thin stick poles at the corners and only one full wall. There were little walks. Yes, I can read. Fake rocks stuck to the boards of the wall side, probably for people to climb on. Above was an actual floor with a slanty roof and railing rod. Some ropes dangled off it in multiple places. The thought came to you that it had the same feeling as a tree house, except not in a tree. It definitely wasn't a real house. You might have found a local playground. Curiously, you moved closer until you were right in front, and that's when you came to the shocking realization that there was something in there at the top. Eyes squinted to try seeing more clearly, and your neck bent so far back your head might fall off. You could make out a lumpy pile. Alright. We can stand there, we can shout, we can kick, we can shake, or we can climb. What do you guys think? I think we're gonna shout. I'm gonna shout. You shouted. Hey, is something there? The sudden sound of a clattering ruckus came from inside the fort made you flinch in place. It was a scrambling, thudding noise that you knew came from movement. That lump stopped being just a lump. It shot up, bent right over the railing, peered down, and saw you. The lump is a cute neighbor! It was a kid. Alright, how do I feel about this kid? I love these games. I love how many choices they have. If you haven't already, go and play these games, okay? Our Life Beginning and Always is fully completed, and then this is the demo. So yeah, if you haven't already, go check out the games. They're so good. They're so fun. Probably the first one. Who were they? That's all you could wonder. The silent standoff of surprise played out between you and the stranger. Then, altogether, one half of their mouth, one of their eyebrows, and one of their hands shifted upwards. That lopsided pose they had and the fact that they were on top of a tower made them seem pretty in charge here. Who are you? Why are you in my backyard? Oh, they were in charge here. Hi. Hi. At that, they pressed the palms of their hands hard against the railing and then used it to kick off their legs over the sides and throw themselves right off the fort. There's a powerful crunch and a gust of air when the person hit the ground, just a little to the side of where you were. They landed on their feet, crushing into a ball, making the hood of their jacket flip over their head from the impact of falling so far down. The person stayed like that for long enough that the leaves they stirred up settled quietly onto the grass again. The kid straightened themselves out, with more poise than you could have expected. Squared shoulders, chin up, and with one hand, they pushed down the hood over their back again. They were confident and knew how to show it. Yippee! Cute neighbor! Current opinions on the cute neighbor we have found, chat. I want to check in with you guys on each of the cute neighbors when we find them. Oh, and I gotta go check the pronunciation of this real quick. We're gonna go to the TikTok once we do, and that way we can remember how to pronounce their name, because I'm trying, but I think I might utterly mispronounce it, and I'm really scared. I'm not good at words, if you can't tell. Alright, that's that. I don't know choice to make. Okay. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Yeah, it was. They took hold of the open sides of their jacket and flapped them out, shaking off bits of sticks and whatever other stuff they got on it when they collided with the dirt. Anyways, they shifted their head around to get their hair back over their shoulders, the way it was before, and then jabbed a finger into their own chest. Alright, okay. One moment while I check the pronunciation. All I need is a single moment. No, please. Please, spend more time on the name. Okay. I can't... It's either Chew or Cheat. And I can't tell which one it is, so I think it's... because there's multiple ways to pronounce it, and I don't know which one is the correct one, and I'm scared. Why does there have to be multiple ways to pronounce names? I think everything just needs one correct way to pronounce it, and everyone should know that correct pronunciation. And that should just be how life is. I don't know name. I'm trying, Jet. I'm trying to look it up, I promise. Because I want to make sure I pronounce it right, but also... Alright. We just gotta... I think it's there's two ways I think it is, and I don't know which one of them is right, and I'm sobbing because I want to say it right. We gotta pick a way to say it. Okay. The video doesn't help because unfortunately they say it so fast I can't tell if there's which one they're saying. Okay, deep breaths. We gotta just pick away how to say it. I think it's Chi. Okay, Mr. Cheelan. And it means both of Chi's arms spread out openly, gesturing to the wide world all around. Autumn, nice to meet you. What's your name? I'm Miss Destiny Dove. That was perfect, Miss Destiny Dove. Oh, but people should call me Dragon. Only my mom uses my name. Cool, I've got a nickname too. It's Autumn. Because like I said, that's what my name means. You can use it if you wanna. You'll never figure out their name. I will not. No. It's gonna haunt me forever. And I'm gonna, every time I say it, I'm gonna have this like crushing feeling of what if this is the wrong way to say it. I really want to say it right, but what if I'm saying it wrong? Ah. Okay. Wait, and also, how old are you? We seem pretty similar to me. I am 10 years old. She slapped his fingerless gloved hands against the front of his chest to show just how taken aback he was. Whoa, so am I. Nobody else close by was exactly 10 before, and now there's you. And you're gonna grow up someday, and I'm gonna grow up too, and that'll never stop us from being the same age. Cool. I'm just gonna stand here quietly. That was fine to you, but... The talk you were having ended with a clear clap from Chi to bring it to a close. Now that we're people who know each other, I still want to hear what you were doing. I've lived my whole life in this town, in this neighborhood, in that house, and I've never seen you anywhere. There's gotta be something going on. Well, you reached right into your pocket and presented the mystery paper to Chi, wanting your own explanation. But before you even said anything about it, Chi wheezed at with a tight grimace. He looked as stiff as the wood tower behind him, just like that. You're a... He stammered and babbled, and pointed his finger all around the space that was sort of in front of you, until the word finally came to him. A sorcerer! What? No, wait. She threw up his hands higher towards his shoulders, and then the sudden movement making sure nothing interrupted his train of thought. You're a thief. That's why you're here, to rob my house. Why do you sound so excited about that? You think I'm gonna rob you? Because I figured it out, and I caught you. Do you really think I'm a robber? He got all fluttery, with his laugh and the waving of his fingers. No, you're just a kid, but you got some good tricks. Chu tucked one of his hands inside his jacket. He moved it around in there, humming it the whole time. There was some kind of secret pocket or compartment in that coat. Aha. Just as he thought, when he removed his hands, he was grabbing onto something. It was a little notebook. The edges were bent up and crumply, probably from being squished a lot of ways and a lot of times. And there were papers sticking out in weird ways that made you think they weren't even attached to the book anymore. They were just smashed between other pages to keep them in place. But the things you noticed the most were the colors. Tan with dark brown lines. It was the paper from the airplane. Chu flipped open the book, tapped it in a slow, considering rhythm at the front of the page with the back of his knuckles, and said what you wanted to know without having to do anything. That's my special paper, with my notes on it, but it's not in my notebook. It was in your pocket. You must have done the thing that's sleight of hand? Sleight of hand? That's what you did to snatch my stuff in the blink of an eye while I was standing right here. So you're a magician. Or a pickpocket. That's all it could be. He shifted on his feet, putting one hand to his hip and using the other to make a waggling gesture with the notebook. She was really confident in his accusation against you. I ain't do nothing. I've done crimes, but not this one. And I stand by that. This crime was not mine. Oh, I wish I could spell. Alright. Can you show me how you do it? But that wavy motion was too much for the old notebook. It bent in half upwards and downwards with the momentum of its owner's arms. Some of the papers slid out. They drifted to the ground lightly, the same way leaves fell from trees. You stared right at them, sitting there freely like that. Chu didn't. Maybe you just dropped a paper? Nah, I never lose things. He said it proudly, still not paying attention to the papers cluttered around his feet. They were pretty much just waiting to blow away in the wind at that point. I think you might want to look down. Chu's eyes widened. He lifted the notebook over his head and twisted his feet outwards to fully clear his view of the grass below. Finally, he spotted the missing papers. Whoa, thanks. In the middle of talking, he dropped to his knees to scoop up the loose papers. It only took a second for each one to be gathered. He leaned off his knees onto his butt and made a little oof sound. From there, he got his feet against the ground while pushing up with his hands, still clutching the papers so he could stand again. With the successful rescue mission done, Chu delicately flipped through the notebook, inserting the loose papers along the way between different pages. He went all the way to the end. Then Chu's complete notebook was pressed shut once more. That really helped, Dragon. A beaming smile directed right into your face almost had you covering your eyes, but before that happened, he looked away. Yippee, Dragon! We got called Dragon. We got called Dragon. Whenever the characters call me Dragon, I light up with joy. It's my favorite thing to be called by my name. And not stupid Destiny. Chu twisted to the side to better rummage inside the hidden pocket of his jacket. He made super sure that the entire stack of papers made it back safely this time. You heard a sigh of relief. And then, in an even, swooping motion, Chu tilted his head back over his shoulder to reveal his face again. The bright expression from before was completely gone. He had that smirk again. So, did you see that? I don't lose anything. Next time, I'm not going to tell you about it. Smiling, Chu leaned a lot more forward, all the way onto his tippy toes. Oh, thank you for the posture check. Eris! Eris! Thank you for... Eris! You can't... No. Eris. Come on, man. Yeah, you're suffering? Yeah. Yeah. I wonder why. You did do a silly. Smiling, Chew leaned a lot more forward, all the way onto his tippy toes. He stayed up and put his hands against his chest like it was nothing. You didn't know how he stood on them so well. Yes, I do. I do it all the time. I walk around on my tippy toes like a little creature. I don't know about that. You seem really nice. You'd help me out again. Thanks. Chew's fun with your reaction came out as a set of snickers. His cheeky mood drifted away once those were done. Chew twisted to the side to better rummage inside the hidden pocket of his jacket. He made sure that the notebook made it back to its normal spot. When he tilted his face back towards you, he was quiet and thoughtful. This is very mysterious. My paper had vanished, and a brand new kid appeared in my backyard, all out of nowhere. I don't get it. Chew, I'm your neighbor now. I moved in the middle house on the street. Oh, the new neighbors. That's right, that's you. It makes so much sense. Then Chew shook his head side to side, flopping dark brown strands of hair around and trying to sort out his thoughts. But if you're just my new neighbor, not a thief or a sorcerer, how'd you know that was my paper? I didn't know. Not for sure. What? You were just showing my notes off to everyone you saw in the world? Yeah, that was kind of the idea. Huh? You breathed in, let it out, and then tried to explain the weird situation that didn't even make sense to you. I got here today with my mom. She's waiting for the real estate agent, so I had to go spend some time doing something. I went down to the road, and a paper airplane hit me on the shoulder, and nobody was there. Are you okay, Maddie? Twitch never notifies me. Aww. Do you have your notifications turned on? Perchance? Because only 68% of people do. Yes, I do. Well, welcome to the stream. We're happy to have you. We're currently talking to I can't. I'm so bad at pronouncing it. I'm pronouncing it what it sounded like in the video, but I'm really afraid that I'm saying it wrong. So this is Chew Autumn Lin. Autumn is their nickname because Chew means autumn. And we just found their papers. Well, one of their papers, because we got hit by an airplane. Chew nodded along, probably not getting everything you're talking about, but curious enough to just keep listening. Oh, that's us. In the little corner there. That's us. We're very cute. I spent way too long working on it. I picked it up and opened the plane and saw the stuff written on it. I thought the person throwing the plane was trying to give me a message. I've been looking for whoever did it since. When I met you, I had to check if you were the one who did it. You went over the steps that led you to this point as best you could. And Chew joined in with the conclusion. It wasn't me who made any airplane, but the page and the things on it are mine. He put his hands on his hips as he thought hard about the info he'd learned from you. That means someone else somehow got a piece of paper from my notebook and used that to make that the plane they checked at you for some crazy reason. Oh, look how angry we are. We're so angry. I guess so. But if you're the one who wrote that, how did you know my name? That was on the note. And what were those other words supposed to mean? Hello, go out, hide out, Destiny Dove. It doesn't make any sense. Oh. Chew cracked a smile and flipped his arms up to explain his own explanation. That's just the stuff I was gonna do. Counting 1, 2, 3 on his fingers, Chew listed off each part of the letter simply. Hello, say hi to the people around, go out, visit the town or another neighborhood or whatever, hideout means go to my hideout. Chew stopped the countdown and pat the sturdy wooden wall behind him with pride. Right here. I like your hideout. I do too. Ah, right. Yeah, for your name being there, my mom and dad told me. They talked about how people were moving in next door and how there was going to be a kid my age and that their name was Destiny Dove. It was cool to me, so I wrote it down. That way I wouldn't forget. And I even took out and read that page a lot to make sure it'd be something I remembered. Looks like I forgot after all. Yeah, me for real, for real. Alright. I like this. I like them. Even if their name makes me cry because I can't pronounce it. Alright. Thank you for trying to remember anyways. You're welcome. I'll remember this time. Definitely. But I'm gonna stick with you now. Whoever took my paper is still out there, and you were their target. Maybe you're not a sorcerer thief, but what if the paper airplane person is? I want to find a sorcerer thief. That sounds cool. We'll figure it all out and you won't have to worry about anything. Ah. Nod. Super. Do we have a plan? You stood up tall, accepting your now partner on this trip, and laid out the next part. Yeah. I know which way we should go now. We have to go back to the spot in the forest with 2 dirt paths. I know that place. It's right nearby. Let's do this. And so you started to walk along the autumn tree line with your new partner in the adventure. Chu came alongside you with bold, certain steps. You were going to find that paper airplane person. As soon as you reached the head of the path, you were at the crossroads once more. But you'd brought back knowledge, and this new boy with you. Alright, we did that one, and it's where you were. And down there is just the car road. You stood by Chu, gesturing around animatedly with both hands. You didn't know if that helped him understand better, but you couldn't keep still. But there's that way over there on the other side. You bent your knees, stretched out both arms, and pointed across the forked passage to where the second dirt imprint was. Chu couldn't possibly miss it with your direction. With a tilt of his head, Chu grinned in agreement. That makes sense to me. The decision easily made, yours and his crunching footsteps started up again in unison. And still, your quest continued. Oh, this pathway is so pretty. Look at this. I am in love with this, by the way. I'm going to eat this entire game. I've already said it, but I've said it to some friends, but when this game actually comes out, you will not see me for an entire week. And if you look on like my Discord, you will see that I will just be playing this game for like 50 hours straight. More than, because you'll not see me for the entire week, because all I'll be doing is playing Our Life Now and Forever. I won't see. No one will see me for a week. I'll be gone. The only thing you can tell is that is from Discord that I'm playing video game. And it will be because I'm romancing the silly fictional characters and living out a cute little life. Oh, hello Whisk! Welcome to stream. Welcome, welcome. How's your day been? I hope you've been well. Free time is nice. I don't have free time. It's currently 4 a.m. I'm very sleepy. I apologize for anything you're gonna say. But yeah, welcome to the stream. We are playing the Our Life Now and Forever demo. And I adore it. I'm so in love. To catch up on events, so we moved into our house, a new house with our mom. We went to go explore. We got hit in the head with a weird paper airplane. We decided to try and find who hit us with the paper airplane, and it led us into Chu Lin's backyard, where we met them. He told us about how we were a sorcerer thief, accused us of stealing his paper. We then told him about the paper airplane, and now we are trying to find the person who made the airplane, because, well, it was his paper, he didn't make the airplane. So that's currently where we are. We're walking together. We're being cute, because this game is too cute. Once you went through the foresty path, you had truly entered the wild woods. Nothing else surrounded you any longer. Nature spread across the land, with the narrow dirt line and the fence being the only sign anyone had walked this spot before you. People were the only visitors here. Golden and red leaves gently rustled against each other in thick clumps, with each tree's branches flowing into the others nearby. It was enough to keep the sky and sun out almost completely, but the leaves burned bright with the light basking over them from above. The foot-made passage continued to twist around, up higher into the mountainside, farther than you could see. "It's so pretty," you were amazed. With your wide, wondrous gaze thrown every which way, you let yourself flow deeper into the thicket. Chu washed your face. Your good mood was enough to rub off on him. "I hang out in the neighborhood, or the other parts of town most time. But the woods can be cool too." "Really? Why don't you visit more often? It's right by your house." "I lived here forever, every day of my whole life. Stuff's always going on with people in the neighborhood and in town. The forest is the same when you come back. Trees, bushes, some birds. It's kind of weird when you think about it. Besides the plants looking different when the seasons change, it's like time doesn't exist here." Casually, Chu lifted up his hands from his sides, only to gesture them downwards to the forest floor. "And hey, you know, this path we're walking on has always been here. Even before I was born." He strolled along, kicking at a little piece of rock on the road and looking straight ahead. "It's probably been around for as long as this place has been Golden Grove. Or longer." For a second, he was thinking so hard the smile he had almost went away. Then something made him chuckle, and he pointed over to the side. "But that fence is kind of new. I remember there just being dirt when I was little. That's the only thing that's ever gotten different out here." "Wow." The quiet bubble that existed here in the forest, away from the town, popped from a sudden unnatural clatter. You stopped. It was a whooshing, thumping, and stirring up of the leaves, like something had crashed into them. You and Chu shared a look, both checking that the other heard it too. "That wasn't me, and it wasn't you either." "Yeah." You knew for sure that it wasn't the wind. It had to have been an animal. Or a person. Dun dun dun. "And it came from right over there." That thrilled you. His voice shrunk into an eager whisper. "It could be them. The mystery paper airplane sender. Let's go before they get away." Let's wander through the bushes. You pulled up your socks and began to make your way off the path and through the overgrowth. It was harder to keep your footing on the slanted, untrimmed ground. When you reached a really tree-cluttered spot, you grasped at the branches and pushed them aside in order to open enough space for you to get past. You moved them the same way you'd open a set of curtains, but it was a lot harder to do. The tiniest branches couldn't take the bend and snap from the pressure. You could feel the splintery ends of the plant scratch a little at your face and clothes. "No! My outfit is like all white. The dirt's gonna get on it. No!" Ugh. It wasn't as smooth as an entrance as you hoped it would be. On the other side of that tree line was still the woods, but kind of an empty part. There was a lot of open ground with no trees or bushes growing, and a ton of leaves that were gathered into piles. Past that clearing, the trees were back and even more closely pressed together than they were by the path. It was mysterious. There was nowhere easy to go, and nothing seemed out of place to you, until... A cute neighbor! We found the second one. Hello! There was a shout and a new whirlwind of leaves rushing through the air. From underneath one of the piles was another kid. It was the prettiest person I've ever seen. You stared at them, then they looked right back to you as everything they'd thrown into the air gently drifted back down. I finished what I was painting. Oh, did you manage to get past the painting the light colors over dark colors? How'd it turn out? Show us, Eris, show us the painting. You must show us painting. Do it now. No, wait. Painting now. No, no dry. You get no time for nothing. Were you in there this whole time? No. I heard you coming. The kid kicked their legs up and down in the leaf pile that surrounded them. The crunch of dried plants finished the message. I went to hide just now so I could jump out whenever you got here. They talked about it like it was an obvious thing to do. And your reaction was confusing to them. Oh. That got the stranger giggling. Chia gently folded his arms across his chest. He blinked slowly and thoughtfully. He usually had plenty to say, but in that moment he was left as stumped as one of the actual stumps in this forest. Wait here. The jumping jack kid hopped again, but this time it was to get off the ground. They dashed to the opposite edge of the open space, leaves scattered behind them, dropping out of their clothes and being kicked up by their steps. You were already wondering what was going to happen next. Watching them go, Chu finally found some words. It's another person I've never seen before today? He twisted around so the top of him was angled more towards you. He brought one of his hands to the side of his mouth and held the other close to his chest, pointing subtly in the direction the stranger went. Dragon, do you know this leaf kid? Nope. Alright, shook my head strongly. You're the only person I've met here. Yeah, true. Yeah, true. Chu's arms fell back down like limp noodles, and he never took his eyes off the other person. He was definitely curious. From behind one of the tall, crooked trees, the kid began throwing sticks and other plant pieces around. They were uncovering a hidden treasure, a big brown bag. They had to use both hands to lift the pouch and get it over their head. The thick strap pulled tight under the strain of the weight attached to it. The line of their mouth looked just as strained. The stranger huffed when they released the bag from their fingers, letting it rest completely across their shoulder. You heard stuff bumping around inside from your position way over here. It was a really full pack. But that didn't slow the kid down. They ran back at full speed to meet you where you were. And when they were in front of your face, they gave you a wave and asked a question. Hi, are you girls too? She gestured to the front of himself casually. I'm a boy. I'm Mr. Jilin. And then Q-I-U-N-L-I-N. Wow, okay, hi Chu. The kid turned their attention to you. Are you a girl? Yes. Yeah. She sung her own praises in a chiming tone. Both girls, both girls. And all of a sudden, the leafy girl seemed to remember to introduce herself the way most people do. I love the little leaves all over her. She's so cute. I'm Tamarack. Those are pretty. You simply nodded. That sounded nice, alright. That sounds nice. Thanks. A tamarack is a kind of tree. I like it a lot. Chu grinned widely at her enthusiastic introduction. It fits you. What's your last name? It's Bauman. That's how you pronounce it, right? Bauman? I think that's how we decided it was pronounced in BC a while ago. Okay, Bauman. Cool, Miss Tamarack Bauman. You know, my name means autumn. That's amazing. It's a match, too. How do people know to do that? I think we're just lucky. Lots of kids don't have the right ones. Yeah. So what's your name? The girl you now knew as Tamarack sent the question your way, since Chu already gave his out. My name is Destiny. I'm Miss Destiny Dove. Chu politely applauded your way of saying it with an appreciative smile. Wow, hi Destiny. She greeted you with a finger-spread wave of her hand, as sweetly as if you'd always known each other and she'd done it 100 times. Do you think yours fits too? Your name? No. But everyone always calls me Dragon. Yeah, yes, don't call me Destiny. Bad. Dragon, good. Ooh, alright. Your earmuffs are nice. They are, aren't they? My mom got it for me. Proudly, thank you. I like your hair tie too. I like your hair tie too. Thanks. It's cool to meet you, Tamarack. Maybe. He pointed a suspicious finger her way and made another point with words. There was only one house for sale anywhere near this neighborhood. Dragon lives there now. Where did you come from? Unless you're Dragon's mom. Tamarack was completely tickled by the idea, giggling and covering her mouth with her hands. She didn't do a good job at stopping any of the laughter from getting out. No, I'm not a mom. I moved in with my... Oh, I gotta remember how to pronounce them. Okay. I looked it up, and I completely forgot. And I got a pronunciation. Okay. I think it's Oma and Appa. And Opa. Oma and Opa. I think that's how it is. Oma and Opa. You listen quietly. Oma and Opa means Granny and Grandpa. I've never heard of that. Is it another language? Uh-huh. It's German. And they're German. Cool. There's a granny who lives there and a guy that's her husband. That's your Oma and Opa? I think so. Probably. Oma has long hair. Opa has short hair, and some of it's on his face. Yeah. Chew bobbed his head up and down with great understanding. Granny and him have a kid now? Huh. Wow. The blunt options always give me, even no matter how many times I see them, it's never not gonna be funny. She just had this like normal conversation, and then one of the options just be, "Are your parents dead?" I'm not ever going to just, you know, no matter how many times I see it, it's never not gonna make me chuckle. Nifty. Yeah. I've been here for 5 days and it's really good. There's so much out here. I probably won't be finished for a long time. Months, maybe. The loudness of Chew's voice shot up. He was shocked and confused. 5 days? That's almost a week and I've never seen you? Where have you been this whole time? I said so before. I've been here. Tamarack used one foot to push against the ground and the other to stay upright and spun around in place once. I play in the forest every day. After getting the answer, he went normal volume again, but kept frowning. Well, you can come with me and my friends if you want to. We hang out in the neighborhood and in town and my backyard and stuff. If you see us, just walk over and join. You don't have to worry. They'll like you. And you can talk to me if you don't know what to do. She only shrugged. The shoulder without the bag strap went up slightly higher. Maybe. There wasn't a lot of interest for Chew's offer. He finally grinned again. He watched Tamarack with a tilted head. You're like your Opa, huh? No one ever really sees him around either, even though he's lived here for 1,000,000 years. Tamarack squished her cheeks between her fingers, delighted. He likes his office a whole lot. This is my very first day in Golden Grove. Wow, that's very a difference at all. We're a match. She furrowed her extra short eyebrows as much as she could as a new idea came to her. Hey, we're both girls, and he's not. But are any of us the same age? I'm 10. We're 10 too! Hooray! Same age forever. Happily, Tamarack held onto the worn strap of her big brown bag and bounced up and down in place. You decided that this was the perfect time to talk to her about everything that had happened. The paper might have been Chew's, but it was possible she was the one who sent it to you. Do you even know anything about a paper airplane? Yeah, you got it? Yeah, I got it. It's right here. Woo! She flung her arms up over her head in celebration, knocking her bag out to the side. It made a thumping noise when it swung back against her. My aim is good. You blinked at her in disbelief. You'd truly done it. You found the mystery person who owned the paper in the first place, and the person who actually sent it to you as a paper airplane. She was entertaining. But you weren't the only one who had a reaction to the results. Alright, nice, dragon. Your wide eyes and shoes cheers and had Tamarack excitedly looking between you and him, not knowing what the celebration was about, but wanting to join. Yeah, your throw was perfect. Thanks, and yay for the trash for doing something nice. Trash? He brought both his hands up to his face and pressed his fingertips into his cheeks with great drama. What was that about never losing things? With wrinkled brows, Chu shifted his hands more to the side so he could instead tug at the front strands of his hair, pulling them out fully straight. I don't know how it's possible. You wouldn't maybe be a sorcerer or a thief, would you, Tamarack? No. Too bad. Oh. Choices. Yippee. I can choice. I can make decisions. I can't make I can't make decisions. We're just gonna sit here until I make a decision. We're all gonna sit in silence. It's gonna be very awkward, but you're just gonna have to look me in my eyes, in my cold little dead eyes, and we're just gonna do this until I make a choice. You smirked widely. Tamarack and you both laughed, the sound harmonizing. Chief finished his pout, straightening up and putting his hands solidly on his hips. He was back to being in control. You know, there's nobody out here who's perfect. I accept my mistake, and I'm sorry to you, Forrest, for messing up the place. That's really nice of you to say, Chu. Thanks. I think it forgives you. Cool. Watching the two kids interacting, you started to think about this more and more, going over the whole experience in your head. Your turning thoughts were put on pause when Tamarack suddenly changed the subject. What are you two gonna do now? I gotta go back. My mom is waiting for me. And I'll walk Dragon there. I gotta make sure she doesn't get lost out here. I should probably see how Oma and Opal too. They need help sometimes. She took a big hop closer to you and Chu, a smile growing across her face as she landed. We could go back together. Yes, I was gonna ask that. You relaxed your stance, accepting that this was really over now. Woohoo! Tamarack snatched up a nearby stick off the ground and directed the pointy end forward, the way you had come from. To our houses. While chuckling, Chu used his fist to enthusiastically punch the air. Homeward bound. Smiled. And so you started the walk through the brown fall brush to get to the neighborhood again, but you weren't going to be alone there. Tamarack bounded ahead, bouncing her arm up and down with a stick like she was a conductor of a marching band, while Chu came alongside you with even, casual steps. You were returning to that house. Oh, look at the pretty lighting effects. Your new neighborhood had become even more orange-toned by the time you finally returned to it. The far-off sun slowly sank away behind the tallest mountains and the forest to sleep for the rest of the night. Your shadows grew larger, pulling away from your bodies to reach into the street ahead. The dark shapes morphed and combined with one another as you walked in your own mismatched rhythm. All while the eyeball chillingness of the outside world got more powerful bit by bit. Tamarack still stayed about 2 steps ahead. Sometimes she was closer, and sometimes she got farther away from you again. She used her stick to knock back at the bushes and lamps along the sidewalk. She was next to you, but it switched things so that he was taking large skips backwards. You guessed it was to look you better in the face better, or he just thought it was fun. He pointed out the sharpest building on the street as he went. Part of it looked almost like a tower, a different kind than the one in the backyard. See? That's the house from the front. It's great. And that one's your house, right? The one in the middle. And Grandy owns that even further one away. Cool. The sound of your steps continued to echo through the cul-de-sac until you came to a stop right in the center of the path. You'd arrived. Okay, this is it. She pulled out an eager grin. We gotta meet up again later. See you, Dragon, and Tamarack. She flipped around to go back the same way he'd come with you. He needed to return to the pointy red house with a huge backyard. He didn't drop any papers this time. Bye, goodbye. Tamarack put both her hands up in front of her chest and waved them around. I'm going home too. Tamarack spun in place before dashing further along the sidewalk to the sloped gray house on the other end of the neighborhood. Her bag clunked and jingled at her side the whole way there. You waited there in front of the house in the dimming evening light, watching the two other kids go to their homes right on the same street. Thank you for coming with me. And that was everything. The whole outing was done. In the quiet resolution of your first day in this place, the two encounters you had earlier that afternoon drifted through your head. You and Tamarack. We gotta choose. Okay. I love the relationship system in this game so much. I just saw the painting! I'm dying. Death, dead. Me. Painting me. Alice, I'm gonna cry. Alright. Oh, okay. Well, we have to pick how we feel about each of the characters. How do you feel about each of the characters so far, chat? Because personally, I think I'm in love with both of them. And yeah, I think I'm in love with both of them. I don't know what I want to do for I don't know if I should be in love with both of them, though. Alright, first time playing Tamarack, like, had my heart completely, like, 100%, because she's just so adorable. But Autumn is also kind of nice. So I don't know. So meter 1. Deferring, you're a follower, teamworking, collaborator, testing, leader. Praising, you got your way to casually or potentially flirtatiously compliment the other person. Unassuming, you generally keep your thoughts on others to yourself. Teasing, you like to make jokes or give the other person a hard time. Admiring, accepting, doting. Admiring, you see the other person as more incredible than most. Accepting, you tend to see the other person on the same level as yourself. Doting, you like to take care or look out for the other person. I think these are currently my current feelings. So, let's go for our feelings for Tamarack. I love her. I adore her. I'm very team-working, but also I can be contesting. I do find the need to be in control some at the times. So, I think we'll go team working. Phrasing. She's just so cute, I gotta take care of her, you know? Okay. Done. Things were so different from you from just that morning when you left and went on the drive to move. Before then, you'd never been in Golden Grove. You'd only seen it in pictures and hadn't known anybody who was a local there. But here you were, a person who lived in the town and was friends with the neighbors on both sides of your house who also lived here. Were you friends? You thought so. And even though they weren't here anymore, a bunch of other things had happened that day, and the two of them were the only things on your mind. Oh. It was like that when you first saw them, and when you started talking to learn about them. All that stuff with the note and paper airplane. It was special. We're in love. We're in love, chat. We're in love. The air outside kept getting even colder, but you were so warm on the inside. It was nice and comfortable in the place you were. Getting even more lost in your own imagination, you wondered when you would get to see them again. Destiny, is that you? Mom. I was having such a good time, and then the Destiny jump scare. Your mom called over the fence. Coming. You bounded forward and passed through the gate. Mom had left the porch and was there to meet you. Thank you for coming back. I'm sure you were having an exciting time out there. It was great. I'm glad to hear that. From strength to strength, we got the key to the house. The agent finally arrived about 20 minutes ago. He's gone now, but I haven't peeked yet. The both of us should be here for this. It's your house too. Yeah, this is our house now. Absolutely. Come on. Mom turned to go and slipped the key out from her sweater pocket. She gestured with the other hand for you to follow. Your mom led the way as you went back up the stairs. The key fit perfectly into the hole on the door, and Mom smiled at the sound of an unlocking click. Carefully, she leaned forward with her shoulders, giving it a nudge, unsure if the best option for the ancient door was extra force or extra restraint. The house opened with a creak. Air came out through the front like it was exhaling. Mom let out a breath at the same time. Over here, Destiny. There's space for you to get a little closer. You can see inside here. You scooched towards your mom's side in the door frame. It was then when you noticed that there was a mat at the front. It had a light color, and a kind of hard but fluffy texture. The sort of mat that'd get dirty looking right away when it was used, but it was still clean and nice. It hadn't been worn down at all like the rest of the building. This part of the house wasn't an old thing that left behind by other people who didn't need it, or want it anymore. Someone must have put it here for this happening. Your mom and you moving in. Written across it, it said, "Welcome home." Ah! Dies. Dead. Mom softly tapped the top of your shoulder, bringing you back into the moment. She kept the hand there, leading you ahead with her. The two of you walked through the door. Everything in the air was still. The wind was blocked, but it was practically as cold inside as it was on the outside. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. Water. Glug, glug, glug. Everything in the air was still. The wind was blocked, but it was practically as cold inside as it was outside of the house. Mom shifted forward cautiously, feeling around for a light switch. Got it. A dim light from the ceiling sparked on in an instant, and there in front of you was an old-fashioned living room. The house had furniture that came along with it, but it wasn't a set. The pieces were mismatched, each chair, table, and bookshelf in a different color. They were covered in transparent sheets of plastic, and in dust. The room had a real fireplace made out of brick. In the back you could see a staircase going up to another floor. Beautiful. It's even better than the photos. So much potential inside of these walls. It does kind of look like a storybook. Yeah, you're amazed. It could fit in a storybook. Mama's right. You had thought it'd be good, but it was somehow more than that. Your mom touched the tips of her fingers to the muted blue paint next to her. We'll have to clean as much as we can to make it livable before bed. It'll be a long night. We can unpack more of our things tomorrow, though. Though, I'll be doing much of that on my own. You're gonna be busy. Mom increased the pitch of her voice, squinting her eyes sweetly. After all, it is the first day of 5th grade. You grinned brightly. She chuckled gently while watching you. We got in here just in time, Her eyes drifted closed, and then there was a crease in her brows. She seemed further away without having gone anywhere. Even if I am here early for the job, I was not going to make you be a full week late to class. Being new to a town like this is already going to make you a point of attention. You couldn't tell if she thought that was a good thing or a bad thing by her tone, but Mom didn't say any more about that. She lifted her circle scarf over her head, careful to not have it catch on her earrings, and left it on top of her suitcase. So, want to see the upstairs? Yeah. The 2nd floor was more of the same, lonely, sealed-away rooms with furniture nobody had been using for ages that were covered up by plastic sheets. And lots of dust. You could see the footprints your mom left behind in the grime as she wandered the halls with wide, amazed eyes. After checking the state of the whole house, Mom made the decision to leave the furniture and its protection until after the sweeping was finished. There are too many dust bunnies that might jump over to take a seat on your couches if a spot was available. I hope I can remember where I put that dustpan. The broom itself shouldn't be too hard to find. You returned to the living room after Mom got her trusty pair of crafting scissors out of her suitcase. She put her scarf inside it when taking the scissors out. Mom then went through some of the taped-up boxes like it was her birthday, and each one was a shiny, unopened present with a ribbon on top. But her gift was just the stuff she already owned. One by one, she took out the supplies that had been brought for this very moment, settling them around on her legs, on the floor, wherever there was space. And then she divided them out into separate piles. A pair of yellow gloves, a fluffy fresh duster, a bottle of cleaning spray, and a full roll of paper towels. Mom had a set of her own, and the other was for you. You were gonna need them. There was only one broom and dustpan that she did successfully find. You were gonna take turns using that. The first move in the make the house a place people can actually live in plan was yanking open the streaky windows to get some airflow going. Though, before even that, you had to get the locks on the windows themselves to come loose. You dug your fingers in between the base of the window frame and the latch pressed against it, forcing it to move against its will. When the lock clicked into place on the opposite side, you shoved the window up with both hands. Your gloves were already patchy with filth. The ice-crisp breeze that flowed in from the outside was a lot more welcome at this point. You got a good look at the neighborhood while catching your breath. The streetlights had come on. But you then left the window there to do its job and got back to yours. The two of you went back and forth and up and down around the house to open up everything that you could. Some windows were jammed in places so tight you had to leave it alone for your mom to get it later. The next point on the list was to somehow scrub down all the floors, walls, counters, and every other inch of space where dust could settle, which was every inch of the entire house. You picked a spot and gave it a sweep with the fuzzy head of the duster. A nice line of clear wood followed behind your motion. That pattern continued for a while, and whenever the dust layer was gone from a spot, you'd go back over it again with the cleaning spray to really make it shine. Your mom was able to track down and turn on the heater, not that you could tell the difference with all the windows being wide open. Eventually, you had a short dinner break with your mom, standing around in the kitchen together with the two of you as dusty as the rest of the house. It was packed meals from the car. Simple sandwiches, fruits with thick peels that wouldn't get smashed on the drive, little bags of granola and pretzels, and juice boxes. There were no groceries. The rickety fridge was off and totally empty when you checked. It was a relief there was nothing gross in there. You had prepared for the worst in such an old, practically abandoned house, but there wasn't a single bottle of nasty ketchup or a box of unknown leftovers or anything. The trash from your food was dumped into the same giant black garbage bag that you had been throwing away piles of gray-stained paper towels and wads of squished-together tape in for the whole night. Somehow, the bag was getting full, even though it was big enough to fit your whole body inside. It was a mark of how much work you'd really done. Looking at just the house made you think you hadn't even gotten started. The only way to change that was to keep going, and your mom talked about when encouraging herself to clean up again after dinner. You and your mom polished up the house as best you could for even more hours. But when your usual bedtime arrived, Mom put the duster and scissors down. She wasn't going to have you staying up late, no matter how excited she was to unpack. She guided you to the first floor bathroom. The one on the second floor were too dirty and to use, plucking her overnight bag off the counter along the way. Your mom explained to you how she'd do a round throughout the whole house to close the windows to keep busy until the bathroom is free, and left you to get ready to sleep. Inside the bag was little baby-sized versions of normal toothpaste and mouthwash containers, and simple toothbrushes. All you had for pajamas that night was a green long-sleeve shirt with matching pants. Got as clean as you possibly could. Trying to get the grimy feeling off your skin wasn't easy and took way longer than usual, but it was crucial. I'm gonna take my earmuffs off for bed. I don't think I'm keeping my earmuffs on to sleep. That just kind of sounds annoying. And then you changed into the PJs and let your mom have her turn. While she was away... Oh, okay, stuffed animal, blanket, pillow. The importance of a good pillow, it cannot be overstated while sleeping. It wasn't something you could sleep without. The furniture was still plastic wrapped, so you crouched down and sat on the rug. Mom returned in only a couple of minutes, wearing her purple pajamas. She also had sleeping bags tucked under each of her arms. Okay, so I think a body pillow counts as a pillow, so we're just gonna say it's Johnny the alligator, and that's my special pillow, is what I picked out. My silly alligator guy. She shifted one forward to hold against the front of her chest and dropped the other onto the floor. It landed with a puff. That'll be mine. Your mom noted while trying to untie the band that kept the sleeping bag together to roll. She pulled and pinched at the knot. When it didn't budge, she lifted the bundle to her face and used her teeth to pry the threaded bands apart from each other. She got it loose and victoriously flagged the ball all the way down. The bag all the way down. She laid it down in a clear spot on the wood floor. There you are, Destiny. All ready? Okay. Look how cute we are without our earmuffs in our little group. Ah! You used your feet and rocked back and forth to move yourself across the antique rug, scooting towards the sleeping bag without getting off the ground. Mom chatted casually while spreading out her own bag nearby. We'll need to get some wood so we can actually use that fireplace on nice nights like these. Did your mom know how to use a fireplace? You never seen one in person until now. And so far, you'd still never seen one that had a fire in it. Luckily, the house was warm and cozy even without, since the windows stopped letting the chill in. The heater worked. That was sort of a surprise to you. Mom soon settled down on the center of her temporary bed. She sat cross-legged with her back solidly straight. Her hands came to rest on the tops of her knees. She made direct eye contact with you. Thank you for the help with the house today. It'll be a home before we know it at this rate. You stretched your arms out, happy with a job well done. She slapped at your shoulders, easing away some of the stiffness. Mom, can I tell you about what happened today? I would love that, dear. With your mom's encouragement, you began to narrate the entire story of the paper airplane adventure. From the moment it hit to the way it led down to the forest crossroad, meeting Chu in his tower with his notebook full of loose pages, then finding Tamarack in her leaf pile and all her surprises. Mom listened with her whole self, leaning forward and grinning wider with each new turn you reeled. You wrapped it up by explaining how you'd returned to the neighborhood with Chu and Tamarack after everything you discovered. What a way to spend an afternoon. I'm proud of you, Destiny. You're a bona fide detective. I had no idea you got into such a winding journey. You kicked your legs up and down on your sleeping bag, very pleased with her reaction. It was a fun story to tell. Somehow, the events of the day felt like they were a long time ago, or that they happened to someone else, and you just heard about it. But it had been real. The paper airplane hit your shoulder. You held the note in your hands. I'm keeping it as a keepsake. It had nice memories that went with it. With your topic all done, Mom softly spoke up to share her own thoughts with you. It's odd. Imagine this entire building collecting dust for all this time, isn't it? No one wanted to live here. Not renters, not the man who owned it. But it's a charming house. Yeah, it is. How did we get to have something like this? Mom pinched her lips together in consideration. Then she kept talking. There aren't a lot of opportunities out in these woods, I suppose. At my company, the retirement of the former HR manager was the first big promotion I ever heard of for this area. And even that didn't open up for people already living in the town. I was asked to relocate to take the position. Creases grew around her eyes the more she thought about it. She caught herself before a frown could follow. Oh, but it's not an issue. I'm grateful. We'll find our place in the slow pace of Golden Grove. And at least we'll have each other regardless. We'll always be together. If that's as long as you need me, we will. And then your mom stretched her legs out fully across her sleeping bag, wriggling her toes inside the black socks she had on. Seeing Mom right there on the floor with you was cool. You didn't hang out together during bedtime like this most nights. It was special. As you thought about that, your eyelids were trying to tape themselves up with the sticky, gritting stuff your eyes made when it was extra late. Alright, dear. You should get inside the sleeping bag now. Before you blink out on top of it. That sounded like a good idea. Scooping up your special pillow in both your arms, you shimmied into the open end of the bag. It was made out of a fabric so smooth that it wasn't difficult to do. You moved further down until the edge was to your chin. You were wrapped up like a loaf of bread in a grocery bag. Mom got to her feet, taking a short jog over to the wall of the room. She lifted a finger to the light switch, but kept her gaze down to you. The expression on her face was gentle. Good night, Destiny. Good night, Mom. The room went pitch black with a click. While your eyes were trying to adjust, you heard the shuffling sound of Mom. She joined you on the floor again. Those noises soon stopped. Mom didn't talk anymore. There weren't sounds of cars passing outside. There was a thumping in your ears, and you thought you might have heard a creak somewhere. The night noises were a lot different than what you had experienced with. They were so quiet and distant. It made you notice them more than if they were clearer. You'd have to get to know the sounds better. It was another part of the house's personality. You were okay with that. It was normal to need time to get familiar with each other. You pressed your eyes shut. In your head was thoughts of, no, but both of them. You tossed and turned in the squishy cocoon, wanting to sleep so tomorrow could come sooner, but too excited to do so. It was way too long of a night. And then your second day in Golden Grove arrived. Yay, we get to change our outfit. I love these sections. Thank you for the hydrate again. Alright. So, I want to make sure we're super cute for our first day of school, okay? I think it's most. There are special points. So yeah, you do get to choose your outfit, and I'm so excited. Alright, I want to have the cutest little school outfit. I want to be the most adorable kid in the entire school. I don't know. Does orange look good with my hair? I feel like everything in this game looks good, even if the colors don't really go together. It's too hard to choose. Oh, okay. I don't know what to wear, which is the hard part. Do I wear the same earmuffs? This is what I'd look like inside. It's a little basic. I don't know how I feel about it. I want to be super cute, not basic. I could wear the little overalls. Okay. Oh, I'll wear a little yellow. I'll wear like a little gold scarf. Actually, maybe the gold overalls with the... Yeah, the little yellow overalls look super cute, but how do we feel about the gold ones? I think yellow looks better, and then we can go with the orange scarf. And then earrings. Let's pick a pair of earrings. Howdy, you enjoying this game? Yeah, I love this game. I'm picking my little outfit, and I'm gonna take forever because I love picking little outfits. Okay. I want to pick cute little earrings. Smile, help me pick cute earrings. Oh yeah, I'm so excited. I am absolutely in love. I loved the first game so much, and I feel like everything I loved has been so improved already. And so it's just amazing. Thank you. I'm a pink little lady. There, so outdoors, indoors. Outdoors, indoors. I think that's a cute first day of school look. Heart. What do you think, Smile? And rest of chat. Ah, oh, even more color options. I'm gonna explode. I like it. Yay! Yeah, so I think we're ready for our little first day of school outfit. We gotta make a good impression, so I think this outfit really helps. Alright, but your second day had only just arrived. Only one corner of the world outside the window had any sunlight. The rest was all shadows. Oh, this is what Eris was talking about with the clouds looking like cotton candy, isn't it? I very much agree. These are very much cotton candy clouds, and I very much want to eat them. I shall consume the clouds. But honestly, I'm gonna consume everything in this game because it's just so yummy looking. Just nom 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 nom. The lights in the house had to be turned on for you to see your own hands. I actually quite like when it's early. After you get over like after you get over waking up, you know, it's nice to be up early. I feel like there's like this specific feeling, especially when you like got up early for school and like the whole world was still frozen. It just has this vibe. Yeah. Do you know the vibe like when the world is just completely paused? I love it when it's early. Everything felt different when the morning was beginning. You gotta relax in the quiet space for a little while. The unpacking wouldn't be started again until a lot later. That's what your mom said when you were brushing your teeth. For now, you both only had what was already out. Yeah, or like going on a road trip. You know, have you ever woken up early for a long drive and just the kind of vibe of like getting your bag and getting into the car and still being kind of asleep, but the whole world is just like quiet. And then you get into the little car and you just drive. It's the best. I love the early morning feelings, but early mornings can also suck. To be honest, I don't know if I'm actually really allowed to actually talk because it's currently 5 a.m. So I spend my mornings streaming now. The food around to eat was still the same stuff from yesterday. It was what you had for breakfast already, and you could see your mom packing it into a brown paper bag for lunch, too. I do seem pretty awake. I am pretty awake. You know, you kind of wake up when you've been awake since like at 2:40 a.m. That was the last day of the preparation she had to do for your school. You were pretty sure your mom really wanted you to be the one to get your supplies for the day together. She put stacks of stapled papers, a notebook, your pencil case, a ruler, and more into your backpack. Mom had kept the pack in the middle seat of the car to make sure it would be right there when it was time to use it for class. If it had gone missing, maybe you would have had to carry your school stuff in a cardboard box, the same way you'd had to bring everything else you owned to this place in big boxes. You watched her from your comfy spot on your sleeping bag. You'd already gotten dressed for the day, but that didn't mean you couldn't sit in bed again. There wasn't anywhere else to. Soon you'd be leaving the new old house and the neighborhood and all the parts of Golden Grove you've gotten to see so far. The next stop into the unknown was North Acres Elementary School. You tried to imagine what it might be like. But school thoughts were shaken out of your head when a muffled thumping sound filled the air. Mom slowly lowered her hands down to the counter, and at the same time her head and eyebrows went up. Guests? Already? At this hour? Your mom left your lunch bag incomplete on the tabletop and went to investigate the knocking. You got up to see too. You pressed your hands into the shiny, stuffed bedding underneath you, and as you leaned onto your feet to get off the floor, you were able to join Mum before she opened the door. She pushed the long handle down with a click and tugged the door forward. It squeaked open. You glanced ahead, squinting your eyes to adjust from the complete brightness inside to the pale dawn outside. Standing tall on the welcome mat, seemingly totally at home in your We have a visitor. Look at that. Excuse me one moment. One of my friends painted me, and I keep looking at it. I keep going back to look at it because they painted me, man. You know? No, he said he was also called Autumn. We're gonna try to use the nickname. I think that's respectful, you know? He uses my nickname, I'll use his. Autumn's fluffy hood was tucked snugly around his head. He didn't usually do that, at least based on how much he knew was usual for him. Maybe it was because the air was somehow even more skin-prickling cold in the morning than it was during the day or evening. You shuddered just from the wind coming in through the opening. When he caught sight of you there, a twinkling grin took over his face. He popped onto the balls of his feet, getting even taller, and cheered a greeting. Good morning! Seeing who it was, you... Scooty past Mum. Weird. Ah! It's the Streamlabs text. I'm still staring at the painting. She puffed up, completely pleased that you'd come over to him. He mirrored your move, so he was facing you instead of Mum. Good morning to you! Good morning to you! You waved excitedly. Hi. You visiting me? Hi. Chi stayed put in the new place as he took but angled his head up to give his focus to your mum. I'm Mr. Cheelan. I'm your neighbor, the same age as Miss Destiny Dove. The two of us met yesterday. Ah, yes, I've heard. I've been anticipating getting to meet you. And those feelings were well placed. You're so polite. She straightened out the line with his bandana with both hands, giggling cheekily, as he made direct eye contact with you. Well, if somebody has been talking about me, I hope it was the good stuff. Now, I should introduce myself as well. I'm Miss Dove, Destiny's mother. It's nice to meet you. May I speak with Dragon, Miss Dove? There's something I want to talk to them about. Thoughtfully, your mom's glance drifted down to you. Without looking back at him, your mom replied, That would be fine. I'll finish getting your bag ready, Destiny. You two can chat. Two clasped his hands around each other. Thank you very much. Mom let out a content let a content smile rest on her face as she walked back inside the house, leaving you alone with June. You looked back at him eagerly. It was only the morning, and something good was already happening. Look out, give me. What did you want to say? Autumn didn't beat around the bush with you. He probably didn't with anyone. He came right out what he had in mind. Want to walk to school together? It's the first day. He squared his shoulders and held out a hand, counting off points with his fingers. We're going to the same place, in the same grade. There's a good chance we'll even be in the same class. Going together would make everything so easy. Yeah. All right. He popped an enthusiastic double thumbs up. And guess what else is a reason for why we should walk together? What? His gaze got sharper, but it didn't feel scary at all. The glance was like a fancy cut jewel rather than a pointy weapon. Thank you for the head pats. Yippee! It's because I want you to be there. He wanted you to hang out with him? So yep, I think it makes a lot of sense that we'd go together. With his hands in his pockets, Chu shifted the whole top of his body diagonally over to the one side. The tilt with his head really showed the bend of his self-pleased smile. Oh. He flung an arm back around and arched the fingers across the air in front of both your faces. It might have been to stop you before you could say anything, or to keep himself from forgetting whatever else he wanted to talk about. It wouldn't be just us. I'm going to keep going down the cul-de-sac to Granny's house so I can ask Tamarack next. So, that's it. What do you think about the three of us walking together? It's a good plan, right? It's a great idea. I want to go. You swung your hands behind you and spoke out again. I'll get my backpack and tell my mom we're going. I love the stars. Look at that. Look at how they pop up. Cool. I'll wait here for you. You parted with Autumn for a second, but didn't bother closing the door. The sound of your feet against the floor was the only noise in the huge house. You couldn't have snuck up on Mom if you tried. Each step you took brought you closer, and it made the smile on her face grow larger, but she didn't get distracted from her job. Her gaze stayed stuck up to the counter. Mom placed one more paper into your backpack and snapped the plastic clasp on the top flap closed. With that secured, she promptly picked the bag up by the loop handle. She lowered herself down to your height by bending her knees low. Then she offered the backpack over to you. Exceptional timing, dear. Here, you're set to go. It was nice and light when you took the pack from her. That wouldn't last. Soon you'd have actual school books to bring around with you. So what happened with our guest? Did he leave? You answered the question while looping one arm after the other into the wide opening of your backpack straps. He's out there still. She wants me to walk to school with him. Can I go? You shifted your grin to the dangly ends of the armband. Your grip to the dangly ends of the armbands, then gave them a swift tug to tighten the straps, fully securing the bag against you. He came over to ask you that. Talk about convenient. The young Mr. Lin must know the way far better than I do. You certainly can walk together. That was exactly what you thought she'd say. You could count on her to understand. As she smiled, her face lit up softly like an early morning sunshine outside. Mom pinched the tip of your chin with her thumb and her pointer finger. Enjoy your first day. There's only one of them per year. Unless you skip a grade. She was right. This was your school year in a brand new town. Anything could happen for all you knew. It was an adventure, and you would be ready for it. Through the open door, you could see Autumn waiting patiently on your porch still. He turned his back to the house, instead looking around the neighborhood. You came to his side, and that caught his attention. But his gaze didn't go to yours. It went right to the backpack you had on. Autumn grinned hopefully. I told Mom. It's okay. He smacked his hands together enthusiastically. Alright, time to go. You know, Dragon, it's been forever since I got to walk to school with a friend. A teeny tiny yelp popped out of you, partly because of what he said, and partly because of your knees smacked together when he said it. He said you were friends! It only happened a second ago, but it replayed in your head and made your stomach feel fluttery. You were friends! I'm glad we're friends. He grinned ear to ear. Autumn was full of certainty. Same with me. She switched. I can't speak. It dies. It's too cute, and I can't handle it, and I just This is, oh, I'm gonna explode. Boom, kaboom. That's me right now. Easily swiveled all the way around on his heels, he firmly planted his feet into the floorboards of the porch to close out his move. And then he confidently strode forward and leapt over the little steps to get to the grot. Autumn had places to be, and nothing was going to stand in his way. Eagerly, you went along with him down the stone path, past the fence, and onto the neighborhood sidewalk. It took less than a minute to go around the bendy curve of your neighborhood that led to the least pointy, least colorful home on the street. Aww. Tamarack's house, also her Oman's house. Couldn't you wander right into the uncharted territory of their porch? Are you ready? Yep. She tapped out a rhythmic set of knocks. She brought his arms to his side, shook his head, and readjusted the way his hair fell around his shoulders, and positioned himself squarely in the center of the entryway. The old door began to jingle in its frame like it was shivering cold from the outside. Being outside this early, too. But someone was fiddling with the doorknob on the other side. And then the door swung wide open, with a clattery yank and a gust of flowery, perfumed air coming out from deep inside the house. Still clasping the handle and leaning her head against the wood, Tamarack was there to greet you. She had her bag and scarf on for the day already. Hello. Good morning, Tamarack. Her eyes popped open. She hadn't looked to see who was at the door before saying hello, but she could tell who it was from that answer. Tamarack's tone of voice lightened even more. Oh, my name's in italics. I'm special. Hee Look how special I am. My name's in italics. It's still Destiny, though, so it's kind of pain, but we're gonna get through it. You're both here? Hi. Good morning. She kept his proper pose and offered Tamarack the same invitation he'd given you. I'm glad we didn't miss you. We're all going to the same school, right? It'd be cool to walk as a group. Want to? Please? I don't want you to go all by yourself. She blinked rapidly, many times all in a row. In the soft pink light, her eyelashes looked almost like shimmering dragonfly wings. Oh, that is a gorgeous description. Excuse me? Why does that description, what right does it have to be that pretty? It also kind of sounds horrifying if you imagine it in a literal sense, but most pretty descriptions do that, you know? Wow, okay, I want to come. She twisted almost the whole way around, turning her back to you. You could just barely glimpse into the darkened hall beyond her. Tamarack then leaned over, bending her knees and powerfully shouted into the depths of the gray house. I'm going to school now. Her loud, high-pitched call echoed through the hallway. Have a good day, young lady. Tamarack hopped forwards. It was small, but it was all it took for her to go from being in the house to being in the outside world. She tugged the doorknob with her to slam the door shut. I'm ready. The quickness of all that was too much, and she needed a second to catch up with it, but when he did, he chuckled. Perfect. And by the way, Tamarack, I told Destiny already, but people don't always call me, especially at school. I've got a nickname. It's Autumn. So Tamarack just likes doesn't like calling people by their nicknames. She likes their names. That's why she calls me Destiny. And I'm so okay with that. I'm so okay with being called Destiny. Yeah, I'm fine. It's times like these I should remember I actually have I actually have two crying faces, which isn't really funny. But I still just cry using this face. I like my expressions. I think they're silly. I like this one the best, especially because it was made by someone else, and I think it's really cute, and I want to use it more to honor them. It is also kind of funny to see like my little lines pop back in. I think it's cute. Thank you for the follow, Queen Katie Bat. Welcome to the forest. We hope you enjoy your stay. Let me just put that in. Unfortunately, the thing I used to do that broke, so now I have to enter all the names in manually. But I don't mind. I feel like it's more of a bonding experience when I have to enter the names manually, you know? Yeah, so welcome to the forest. We're happy to have you here. Aw, that's so cute. That's a cute emote. You do? Thanks. Autumn lazily settled his hands on his hips and his eyes moved way off to the side, even though there was nothing special to see that way. Guess we actually gotta go to class. Yeah. She pumped her fist up and down in the air in a pattern that matched the pace of her yas. I'm just gonna smile. All clustered together, you, Chu, and Tamarack trampled off the white wooden porch. The full set of cul-de-sac kids hit the road again. The cul-de-sac kids. I like that. That's silly. I'm calling them that from now on. The trip was almost the opposite of last time. The sun was coming up instead of going down, and you were leaving the neighborhood instead of going back to it. But that wasn't what really stood out to you. It was a little bit amazing that you could compare it to a last time. And you could guess that this journey with them wasn't going to be the actual last time it ever happened. It would just become the last time it happened before the new next time. Oh, it's the yummy clouds again. Oh, the clouds are so yummy. I want to eat the clouds. I'm just gonna put that in the Discord. Oh yeah, I think it's important to just tell everyone how addicted to this game series I am by pulling up my Steam, going to the first game, and seeing how many hours I've played. I have played 85.2 hours of Our Life Beginnings and Always. So you could say I'm a little addicted to this game series. Just a tiny bit. Just a little. 85.2 hours, yeah, it's nothing. And then I still gotta finish, I still gotta 100% it. I've been putting it off because the disinterested playthrough has not interested me. I have a lot of the DLCs. I, like, Christmas, like a year back, I got a Steam gift card and I bought Step 1, Step 2, Step 3, the Wedding DLC. I haven't bought the Baxter Derek DLCs because, frankly, meh. In my opinion, meh. But I love the others. Oh, yeah, that's probably... I do not want that. Yeah, I decided to do it on stream, and I'm pretty sure, I don't think anyone actually clipped it, but I cried. I had an entire thing when I had to tell, I specifically wanted to be really mean, and I had to tell Cove that mermaids weren't real, and it broke my heart. I had to go grab a pillow to cry into, and it took me like a full, 10 minutes just to click the one button. It was a very emotional time. I'm not prepared for the rest of it. The first part of the school trip wasn't hard. There was only one way out of your neighborhood, unless someone hiked into wherever the woods went. My boy, we cannot be mean to the boy. He is such a precious little boy. That would be cool. Maybe you'd be able to do that someday. Your actual path forward had you brush past the forest fork that originally led you to meeting Shoot and Tamarack. But you weren't stuck with the same limits as before. This morning, you moved right on by without even stopping to check what might be hidden back there. Oh yeah, I'm really hyped to see the achievements for this game too. Hi, Soup. Welcome to the chat, Soup. Nice to see you. We've had a very eventful few past hours. I love this game so much. I'm so excited for it to fully come out. Which again brings me to say, go support these games. Go do it. Go do it. Go support the Our Life games. They deserve it. They're so amazing. Yeah, I'm actually so excited to see just everything in this game. I want to see everything so much. Honestly, I'm so in love that I'm even considering like getting some stuff and doing a Tamarack cosplay. Probably older Tamarack, most definitely. But maybe even all of them, if I can get the clothes, which would be really exciting. I want to cosplay the pretty lady. Yes, I saw. I was reading and I was so excited because when I first found the game, I'm like, please, 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 I want, I want all. Yeah, I plan to stream this game so much. I know I'm not very big, but any attention I can bring to these amazing games is attention deserved, so you will see me be playing every little time. You just see me reading away. Also, it helps me improve my reading, which is always welcome, you know. Same, I love these games. Yeah, I unfortunately was too late to actually back the case. The first, it's so deserved. These games deserve all the funding, all the money, all of it. Just it's so much. It's so. I can't even talk. These games are too good. Your actual path forward had you. We already read that. I must have accidentally clicked. Now you traveled even further. The woods crowded in closer and closer around one road that led out. Until suddenly, structures began to appear in between the bushes. The thick overhang of leaves pulled apart to show the sky. The world unfolded ahead of you. Oh, they didn't even tell me about the outbreak. Okay, break time. So, those of you who don't have ads, how's your day been? What'd you eat? Did you eat anything good? However, thank you for the alert, but it's ad time. Meh. Alright, 20 seconds left in ads, so. Person who doesn't get ads, I'm gonna reveal the biggest secret I can think of. I'm blonde. Okay, 2, 1, 0. Everybody back from ads? Alright. Y'all here? Give me a thumbs up in chat if you're here back from ads. Want to make sure we got everyone before I start reading again. I don't want to lose any of you guys. Thumbs up. Okay, good. Sunshine climbed mountains just to barely tickle your cheeks while the star still clustered against your back. The descriptions are so pretty. The clouds do look amazing. I want to eat them. This is cotton candy clouds, if I've ever seen them. Like, you buy one and it's blue raspberry flavored. You know? And it's delicious. Okay. You're right in the center of a windy mountain path. It flowed over the uneven ground, blanketing every small bump and behind like a black river. Yes, the talent in the art just in general. Along the street, huge wooden poles rose into the sky in a row that rivaled the trees. Stretching phone lines and reaching branches wove the town together. Even though Golden Grove was a lived-in place with man-made things, the vast wilderness was as much a neighborhood to the residents as their real people neighbors. Tamarack trampled over the grass, squishing her arms in full leg swings in front of her. She didn't get anywhere near the tarmac. Chew's stride was a lot breezier. He took the spot in line closest to the road and didn't even check for cars. His eyes were aimed at the now viewable sky. You ended up somewhere in between them. If Tamarack was a swish and he was a breeze, you were a whirlwind. You rushed about, twisting the angle of your head and taking in every new thing that surrounded you. All that air went out the window when Chew started moving his hands around even more than Tamarack. He frantically stuck his fingers in and out of each one of his pockets while poking his tongue out at the corner of his mouth. You and Tamarack just watched as he tugged his jacket and pants while walking. The two of you probably shared the exact same thought. He was looking for his notebook, or paper, or something. Aha. And it was paper. But it wasn't his special tan pages. The thing you grabbed was thick, folded packet of white printer paper that was covered all over in tiny ink words. You could instantly tell what it was. That many papers stapled together with that many little words on them only ever came from one place. School. School. L school. Hang on. I need to give some appreciation because Smile like every 15 minutes has been giving me water, and real quick, I just want to... I spelled smile wrong. How do I spell? Hug Smile. There. What? They will give you a proper hug. I'm sorry, Smile. Oh no, there's a cooldown, isn't there? Well, just pretend I gave you a hug and didn't spell your name wrong, okay? No! No! It was meant for you! There! See? Hug! Hug, hug! You know, for that, I'm gonna... I bonked myself because I deserve it. No, you can't give me a hug after I misspelled your name. Hey, pets, Eebee. Pat, 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 pat. She held it close to his face. He had his nose completely in what was basically a book. But for some reason, he started to talk to you and Tamarack. Which room did he get? For a second, she peeked over the pages to look at the both of you. Who's your teacher? Tamarack thought hard, but she couldn't find an answer in her head. She squished her hand under the flap of her bag without unbuckling it. She had to find her own papers. I remember. My mom told me. The room is number 24, and I think the teacher's name was... Chew used his thumbs to bend the paper down. They stopped hiding his face, and you could see he was smiling. Wait, that's my room too! Tamarack waved her packet in the air in a crinkling fury. Me 3! We're all in the same class, you cheered. Your mom had given you the papers, She probably got it from his mom and dad, and Tamara got it from Omino. Despite being kind of different, the papers were all the same. A smirk settled in its regular spot on Chu's face, all according to plan if he somehow could have planned it. We're roommates. He didn't need the packet for anything else, so he stuffed it into his pant pocket with a shrug of one shoulder. There's only 3 5th grade classes we could have been in. Okay, but imagine if we were all in different classes. Because there's 3 of them. There's 3 of us. So imagine the universe where it's like, oh yeah, I got this class, I got this class. Literally none of us are in the same class together. But at least we're neighbors, I guess. You know, the true outcome. That would suck so much. It would. But at least we're neighbors. I don't think I've ever actually had the experience of walking to school with a neighbor. It was just, I don't know if that's like sad. But yeah, I don't think I've ever walked to school with like a neighbor. I've walked it to the bus, but usually I do have to take bus. I did have to take buses, so. When she made sure it was deep enough to not just fall out, he brought both his arms into an even bigger shrug and chuckled too. But Miss Murray, I almost made it without her being my teacher. It was close. Tamarack peered into his face with wide eyes. Leaning over so much you almost walked into her. She didn't have to say what her question was with words. She got it. Don't worry, she's nice. She's the best teacher for you two. She made a very serious and reassuring okay sign with his fingers, but an instant it was snapped into a pointing gesture. And you're probably going to be shocked, but Miss Murray isn't just a teacher. She's a mom. She has kids that are just her kids, not students. Wow. You started to see for how big yeah, kinda. I mean, I feel like lots of teachers are parents. I feel like I've even heard that some people expect teachers to be parents. I don't know. I always just feel like it's very normal. It's always been very normal, but they can make a big deal out of it. I didn't know a teacher could have a kid. Well, they can. But I know where we're really going. I can bring us right to the door. The extra burst of confidence got Chu to take long strides ahead of you and Tamarack, keeping his chin high. Tamarack bounced across the grass, kicking her knees high to catch up. She didn't let him keep the lead he took. Happily caught up. You ran forward to get back to the middle of the row. You were greeted with grins from both of them. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to remember every teacher I have, and I feel like most of them like showed pictures of their kids on the starting day. You know, it was like, this is my husband, these are my kids, you know, to get to know me. Or it was, this is my wife, these are my kids. Your steps came back into a steady rhythm between the 3 of you. Oh no. Yeah, let's ask. Why didn't you want Miss Murray as your teacher? Because she knows me. Not like all the teachers have met me because I go to that school. Yeah, I think like my first kid, if I remember, it's art, but I think my first teacher had, like my kindergarten teacher had kids, so it's just always been normal for me. But I can see how you might, like, if you just never realize that, like, oh, none of my teachers have had kids. None of my friends talk about their teachers having kids. So teachers just must not be able to have kids. Like, I think that is logical for a child to create, you know? His dark brown eyes stretched open as wide as they could. His whispered words were pulled out just as a long Just as long. It was a deep, secret confession. She really knows me. Outside of school and everything. The seriousness of it only lasted a second. Autumn laughed at it instead. It's gonna be tough to get away with stuff now. Oh. Oh no, you can't commit crimes in school. No. How are you ever gonna manage? No crimes. Sad. Instead, Tamarack with the shocked expression. Whoa, I've never seen a teacher outside of school. When do they leave? Pretty late, usually. But they have to go home and do errands and stuff. I've experienced it. Oh. That was interesting. You learned something new. The longer the walk went on, the more Tamarack's gaze was pulled to the forest edge along the road, instead of what was right in front of her. Her steps drifted unevenly. Oh, the music. Oh, the music has been so good. This song is so good. The music got silly, and I'm in love. I'm just gonna take a moment to appreciate the music, because everything in this game has just been perfection so far, and well, except for I did see one typo in the beginning when you're with your mom. They forgot to, well, not like a typo, they forgot to put a space between the period and the start of the next sentence. Not a big thing, but kind of noticeable. I didn't point it out, but I did notice it. That's like the one thing that has been like not perfect this entire game. The longer the walk... Okay, we watched that. You couldn't blame her. You had done the same thing during the trip a few times. But you weren't the only one who noticed her focus. Hey, so it's kind of funny how both you like the woods that much. It's the only nice place I've been here so far. She said it in the plainest way possible, and the words still made you cross her. It's the only nice place I've been, yeah. Have you been places other than the forest? Yeah, lots. They're not good. I can't believe it. I'm just not gonna say anything. I don't want to start fighting. She took the shock off Tamara. Hit with him. He turned his cheek to the front as he rolled his shoulders. He was winding up for a comeback. I guess I can give you one thing. There is a pretty special kind of fun that, in all my years of living here, you can only ever have out in these very woods. Nowhere else. Really? What is it? He cast a reel and Tamarack was hooked onto it. She instantly became invested in whatever mystery. Chu had his line. I'm not gonna tell you. What? Oh, poor baby. Look at her face. Oh. Tamarack shrieked in a tone so high it scared away a bird who was minding its own business in the tree above. It was hook, line, and sinker. The beat of its wings fluttering through the air matched. She was giggling. He brought a hand to his chin and leveled a mischievous glance at Tamarack. One day you'll understand. Probably. And that was really it. He closed up his lips, folded his arms, and settled into not explaining for the rest of the walk. Tamarack couldn't accept that, or couldn't get the hint. She pestered him with the passion in her words, getting stronger every time she repeated them. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Tell me the thing. Tell me the special thing. Dude, tell me the special thing. We can figure it out for sure, Tamara. Okay. We can figure it out for sure. She didn't disagree, but he still didn't give any more clues. The conversation of Tamarack's attempts to squeeze Chu for info, your comment on it, and the snickers that escaped Chu continued while you headed towards your goal. Down the road some more, over a crosswalk, past the main street, taking a turn at the corner. Oh, new clouds. These clouds are also yummy. I like the pastel clouds a lot, but these clouds also look nice. I'm gonna get to the school, and then I don't know if I have much longer, because it is almost 6 a.m. And I probably need sleep. That's probably an important thing to do. That was when the widest building you'd seen so far came into view. There had been taller ones, because that one only had 2 floors. But there was a lot of those floors. North Acres Elementary School. The name made sense. You wondered exactly how many acres it was. I wake up early to do the stream because time zone. You know, the statistic, okay, looking at statistics, I realized that this was a good time. I have also something school related to usually at this time. So, you know, it's the perfect time to stream. So, it's like almost 10 p.m. here. Yeah, it's, like I said, almost 6 p.m. here, so, 6 a.m. here. Dozens of other kids were pouring out from a few different paths and mixing together under the front arches above the giant door. You tried to stand up straight, wanting to do things right. And then you went through the door, sticking even closer by your group than on the walk there. Oh, it's so cute! Inside was a long hall with different doors and a staircase on the side. It was shiny and dull, like it had been cleaned so hard for so long. Oh, I need to cough. 1 moment. It had been cleaned so hard for so long that it made everything more worn down than normal. Poster boards with a bunch of paper sheets stacked on lined the walls. Nobody was even looking at them. The messages they had might never have been read. Yes! This is so... the fall into first grade. There's no... It's so much like a school. The floors had a checkered tile pattern. Some of the kids around made sure to only walk on one of the colors and avoid the other. That's so kid. That is so kid. And it was loud. There was too much sound for the crowd, for the hall to hold. It echoed around, which made it even louder. This place was your school now. I went to schools and then started being homeschooled, so. I was the kid falling into first grade. She tapped your shoulder and pointed with his other hand. You figured that was his way to say you had to keep going without having to yell so you could hear. The 3 of you pressed past the other students, making sure you didn't get separated. Step by step, you climbed upwards and forwards. Autumn waved a hand towards the right door when you reached the top. You'd arrived for the first day of class right on time. Oh, what a cute classroom! The little bit of cold you brought inside the school on the tip of your nose and over your cheeks had finally drifted off your face. It was nice and warm when you went in the room. I love this. Your brand new class, 5th grade classroom 24. 5th grade, room 24, smelled like people hard at work. Cut construction paper, crayons, glue, anything that could be made with that. There were tons of leaves stuck out to the different colored walls, climbing around the windows, hanging from shelves, and sneaking out from behind boards. There were some of those things could be made. Kids just sat together in close groups. The desks were pushed up to make bigger tables. There was just one chair by itself, right at the front. Or the back, if the way in was the front door. Directing a loud breath of waxy air. Wow, I thought it was gonna be ugly. Hot fish too. Let her say what she wants. Let her speak her mind. Yeah, I'm just quietly amazed by how pretty the decorations were. Autumn shrugged his backpack off the floor. When it hit the ground, a puff of air came out from the totally not zipped top. Nothing in the place caught his eye, in a good way or a bad one. It was like nothing around him existed. Chew just watches you and Tamarack look. He chuckled at the faces both of you made. The classes looked the same for every room, in every grade, every year. Oh. It wasn't that he couldn't see what you did. It was that he'd already seen it 110 times more. Chew knew the school as well as everything else he knew. Aww. Let us be amazed in peace. He kicked his backpack behind him, Chew up against the wall, never glancing down. There was already a bunch of other bags there, sat one by one along the far side of the room. They were almost completely hidden under a row of hooks that had coats and jackets and stuff cluttered over them in stockpiles. There weren't enough holders for all the layers people brought. You're pretty lucky. This is your first time here. But you're only gonna have to do it once. We're gonna graduate and go to a different school next year. We'll all be new kids then. He talked while he pulled his arms out of his jacket you'd always seen him wear so far. He tossed it to the top of a rounded lump of other coats with a hook somewhere below it all. Tamarack waited, watched, and then she tugged at the end of her scarf to undo the knot it was wrapped in. She talked to. I told you this place was weird and never changed. Aww. That made you poop. The sound was almost exactly like the noise his backpack made a minute ago. School is different than the entire town, Tamarack. Tamarack didn't say one more word against that. She just got on her tiptoes and to sling her untied scarf over Chew's jacket. Building the mountain of stuff. I've seen the mountains. They are mountains. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look right anymore. He looks different. He feels wrong. The silhouette has been changed. I can't handle this. Chew shoved his bandana deep into one of his pockets and lifted up his other shoulder. You're right that class is always the same. Seeing Autumn without his fluffy jacket felt like seeing a lion without its mane. Real, 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 real. He folded his arms high across his chest and gazed upon what you were staring at. Yeah, it feels wrong. I feel like it's so wrong looking already. He had all the pride of a lion, even without the jacket. Though Chew acted like it was for getting ready, he hadn't taken his gloves off. Was he gonna wear those to class? Let him wear the gloves, please. I can't handle even more change. The gloves are special. Tamarack held tight to the strap of her bag. It for sure wasn't going with the rest of the packs. That meant she was definitely already done with the putting your stuff away part of getting to school. Tamarack's overalls were the most over clothes she had once the scarf was off. No coat or a cool poncho or anything. The overalls were kind of short, too. They didn't cover her whole legs. Her ankles had long socks and yellow rubber rain boots to keep them warm. But you had to wonder if she didn't feel cold the same way most people did. Me for real. You took all your stuff off, too. You scratched a finger in your head when you put your earmuffs up on the wall with everything else. Not having your scarf on made you feel different. You weren't coming or going anywhere anymore. You were really staying there in that place for lots of hours. But all you could do was find a hook pile to leave it behind on until later. Good morning and welcome, students. You glanced over your shoulder. In the open doorway was another new person for you to have to know. Her braids did match a few of the other kids there, but she wasn't going to be sitting in the desk with them. She was twice as tall as everybody else in the room. That had to be the teacher, Ms. Her soft brown eyes looked down over you and your neighbors, while she tapped a finger against her speckled face. The pattern on her skin was almost like stars, if the sky was light at night and the stars were the darker part. Her rosy pink lips parted into a smile. She inclined her chin toward you. Nice to see you here, Mr. Chewman. This will be a good year. Yeah. She stretched the word out as far as it could go, and then at the same time he opened his arms wide, turning his head away too. He had the kind of tone your mom would have when she had old work friends over and they asked her if they could set her up on a blind date. Squeakily cheerful and not real. He was trying to be nice, but wasn't trying that hard. Though, when his eyes were rolling away, his gaze passed over you and got stuck there. A sly grin tugged at the corner of his mouth, and the sounds of his voice went from off-key to a lullaby. Maybe. Miss Murray's pencil-pointy eyebrows lifted. She blinked one time, and then her own smile grew. It was shared with you and Tamarack next. Hello, I'm your teacher, Miss Murray. Am I right to say that you're Tamarack Bauman and Destiny Dove? Yes, I'm Miss Destiny Dove. Tamarack bobbed her hands in the air and twisted in place to swing her back so that it hung behind her back. And I'm Tamarack. That is so great. Miss Murray spoke sweetly in a way that was just nice. It wasn't surprised or relieved to find out the answer. She probably didn't need to ask to know who you were. Teachers knew a lot. I can't wait for the partial voice acting because I can already I can tell what some of the lines are going to be, and I'm excited. I'm excited to hear the voice actors and what voices these characters have because I don't think my same voice can do them justice. If you'd be so kind, would you mind coming over to my desk over there in the far corner? I'd like to talk to you before class begins. I'm just so excited for the full game in general. Well, yeah, because just for the demo, they don't have the partial voice acting yet that they'll have for the finished game. But I'm super excited for the finished game. I just want it already now. I want it now, you know? I don't want to wait. Waiting is sad. Maybe I'll do an art stream where I'll draw some of the characters from the Our Life series at some point. Okay. Tamarack finally lowered her hands back down to her sides. She still bumped her bag around by pushing it up and down with her butt. It clattered loudly as Miss Murray pretended not to hear. Take a step closer, curious. Thank you, both of you. She gestured lightly with her hand for you to come and left the doorway. She turned his head to follow the teacher. More and more his dark hair eclipsed your view of the rest of him as she walked away. When you lost sight of his face, there had been a frown on it. Aww. After she was really gone, he spun back towards you and Tamarack. Autumn was smirking then. Good luck out there. He tipped over on one foot and bent his body way down. His other leg kicked into the air. He could balance better than a flamingo. Autumn slipped a hand under his jacket on the hook. And also under Tamarack's scarf, which was still on top of it, and dug around in the fabric. He didn't come out empty-handed. He got on a hold of his favorite notebook and a pencil. She slowly lifted his chest up and brought his one hovering foot down to earth again. That whole thing was graceful, but he followed it widely by waving his notebook goodbye at you. And a paper fell out when he did. Tamarack squealed, trying to talk but too fast and none of it was real words. She reached her arms to you graspingly, like she could pick him up and plant it back where he dropped his things. That didn't work either. He stepped away on light feet, carefree, and joined up with one of the groups of the desks. They all raised their head and waved back when he went. He was gone, and the teacher was waiting. Tamarack squinted her dark red eyes tightly. She directed her gaze towards you because it wasn't like anyone else in the room could understand her. You gave her a look back. Not again. Disbelief. Sigh. This is gonna be a long, however long it is. You picked up the paper and put it in your pocket without looking. You made a beeline to the tan page on the dark blue carpet and snatched it off the ground before somebody could step on it, or it could be blown away and get lost in the middle of the forest. You simply tucked it away, and that was taken care of. Tamarack pretended to be a jack-in-the-box like she did yesterday. This time it was by bending her knees before bouncing straight. Her fluffy locks of hair shook around her round cheeks. Come on, Destiny. I'm fine. She skipped off to the teacher desk, all smiles. You caught up to her in no time and walked the rest of the way side by side. Off in the corner of the other side of the room was the teacher's old dark brown desk. At least the very top of the wood was dark. Posture check. Okay, stretch. And then posture check. Thank you. At least at the very top of the wood was dark. The inner part was a lot lighter. You could see that from all the tiny cuts and scratches over the surface. It was far away from the desk as it could be. You guessed that was so she could have these kinds of talks without everybody else overhearing the whole thing. Miss Murray didn't sit in the cool rolling chair that went behind the desk. She stayed in front and only leaned her back against the top edge. She got to talk to you and Tamarack gently because she didn't have to push her voice across the piece of furniture that separated the students and teachers. I appreciate you coming to this meeting. I wanted to let you know a little bit about today, and what you can expect from your first day. Why? Well, this class is a unique arrangement of the students, but you're the only two who have never attended this school before. Everyone else is simply returning after a summer break. I'd like to introduce you during roll call later. I want all the other kids to know who you are. Oh. Tamarack flipped at the buckles of her bags. They made a clinking sound when she hit them up, and a thump when they landed back down. Her gaze moved around too. This meeting wasn't exciting anymore. Aww. At least it's not just us and Tamarack is here too. Two still wasn't a lot of students who had to do it, but it was a million times better than one. Miss Murray smiled approvingly at how you and Tamarack handled that first assignment. I'll make sure it goes well. The teacher slid her hands across the desktop behind her and spread her fingers out wide. In a couple of minutes, I'll be telling the class to take their assigned seats. You'll have those spots for the rest of the year. I made a seating plan already, but there is a little bit of wiggle room to help you get comfortable, if you'd like. Tamarack's hands flew from her back to her cheeks. That sounded like a smack. Does that mean me and Destiny get to sit together because we're neighbors and friends? Was she right? You held your breath and balled up your hands in a fist, waiting to know if you'd get to be with Tamarack the whole year or not. The twinkle was in Miss Marie's eyes when she finally said what you were hoping for. You thought she might have paused on purpose to make it more dramatic. Yes, I can put you next to each other. Ah. It made Tamarack explode in celebration. She sprung over so close to you, you leaned back without even thinking about it. Even with that, her nose almost poked yours. She's like a cat, saying hello by booping noses. Like a little kitty cat. This moment would be a lot sweeter if she wasn't calling me Destiny. Destiny, we're gonna sit together. Yeah. Oh, look how cute we are. We've got something then. Anything else? Any seat is okay. That's fine. Only checking. Ah, is G next to us too? He's our neighbor. Miss Murray was a really proper lady from what you've seen. She didn't have one wrinkle on her fancy suit, but creases suddenly appeared around her eyes and mouth when she heard that. The line spelled, not again. No, I'm sorry. I'm glad you're getting along with you, but there were students who wanted to sit next to him last year and didn't get to. It's their turn now. Your eyebrows went up so high you almost could have lost them. That many people wanted to sit. He's a very popular little guy. It was kind of rude to the teacher, but you had to turn your head right to look around to the guy you'd been talking about. He was leaning over the bunch of desks from before and still talking to those other kids you didn't know. There's a big smile on every face. He's a very popular little guy. Look at him. You tilted your head back to where it came, but not all the way. You only moved it enough to be looking to the side instead, at Tamarack. Her gaze was directed straight to you too. She grabbed the strap of her bag that was weighing against her chest. Since the day you moved in, it had just been the three of you in your cul-de-sac. Even if the day you moved in was yesterday, it was the same group. You, Tamarack, and you. Neighbors. The cul-de-sac kids. But you weren't in your neighborhood anymore. On the outside of that street, Tamarack was exactly like you were in Cuba's. You and her were strangers in Golden Grove now. You didn't know people and they didn't know you. Aw, you had been here forever. And it wasn't only that, you had already learned something on your first day of school. He's popular. Aw, yeah. You're glad to have a friend like Tamarack even more. She could understand what it's like to be you. You were both the odd one out, but you were with each other. Not looking at her didn't stop your teacher from trying to talk to you. So, Miss Murray had to wait for you and Tamarack to stop your stares of surprise. And then she pointed across the floor to a couple of desks near the back that were side by side. Those are yours. Tamarack is closest to the wall, and Dragon, yours is the one next to that. Yippee! Window seat, window seat. I'm gonna sit at the window seat. Tamarack happily sung herself a simple song about her brand new desk. Besides the roll call, there won't be any surprises. It'll be a regular, easy first day of class. Thank you for having this chat with me. You can take your seats. Tamarack's cheeks inflated and she pushed a smile between the two balls of air. Okay, let's get Destiny. Bye. The teacher stayed resting up against her desk while you and Tamarack went towards your own seats. Tamarack sent quick, excited glances from the desk and then back over to you and over you walked with them. She chattered about how it was going to be so fun being right next to each other and all the things you could do during the year. She beamed so bright it was like her sparkly golden hair made the sunshine that filled the room. Tamarack skipped along with her rosy cheeks, and every time she giggled over getting to sit by you, you definitely felt as warm as being in the sun. But the grin you had on your face had to be as gleaming. The two of you might burn the place down. A clap and call came from where you just left. Attention students, class is starting. Take your seats. Just like she said she would, Ms. Murray was beginning the lesson. And you know, I think that's gonna be it for today. I think we will do the rest of the demo later. So thank you so much for joining me. I had so much fun. I can't wait to play the rest of this game. I am so in love with it. I hope to see you all very, very soon. I love you all so much, and goodbye!